the land of mud and water. We had some serious rain yesterday. Everything is thick, mud everywhere. Ryan had to go out in the storm and dig a trench around the barn because the water was rising on the side of the barn and about to flood in. He saved the day. Thank gosh the goats got to stay dry. Look at how murky the pond is. All that runoff has caused so much sedimentation in there. That's not good. You can see here lots of natural runoff ran down this hill towards the barn. You can see where it's just washed away the pine straw, piled it up on the edges of the puddles. It's just washed away right here in front of the door. You can see there was a natural stream coming right through here, and it went right into here. So this whole area was flooded. Everything was soaked. The ducks love it. They don't care. They were out dancing in it, and they're just playing in the mud today. The chickens handled it just fine because they had their nice tarps to hide under on their perches and stay up off the ground. But I can smell the difference because of getting all that poop under them wet. It's definitely got more of a manure smell today. Khaleesi's area was completely flooded. She was unable to go outside at all. All of her little holes she dug got filled in with soil and rain. So over here you can see where the water ran off into puddles, and down this hill and down here, and it all went here along the edge of the barn. This is what Ryan had to dig out. So he dug a trench going that way to drain off, and then he dug all the way down here. He said when he came out here, the water was just right up to there and about to go in the barn. And so he had to do this entire length of the barn. Look at all this. And once he got down to this end, he had to dig the trench going across the path here so that the water would go, because I'd been building up this area so that it wouldn't be muddy when the goats go out through here. So this, he had to dig through where I had been building up. What do you think? Blah, blah. You can fix it. Don't touch the camera lens, honey. So he dug it. He had to dig away my raised mulch so that he could get it to drain off down into the pond. Over here at the pond, you can see how high the water table came up. Usually when I stand to take a picture of the pond, I stand by that tree. And there's a tree over here that Mrs. Duck usually stands on. It's completely underwater. I haven't seen her yet this morning, but the water is up. You see those trees over there? So yesterday, during the peak of the storm, you see how there's a black line showing the water, high water line? It was over that, because I looked out here and I saw that black saturation line, and a minute or an hour later, that black saturation line was gone. There was no sign of it. I'm surprised the turtles didn't jump off. Usually as soon as they hear me approaching, they jump off the log. What's crazy is there was rain in the forecast, but there was no warning about flash flooding, and that was definitely what happened here. I could see, I looked out my window at one point and I saw the silhouette of a small area of muddy silt coming in from off the pasture and off the road or the neighbor's property. coming in from this far end of the pond, and an hour later the whole pond was brown. So it'll take a while for it to clean itself out. Even the garden got flooded. I'm sure the garlic appreciated a good rain. We hadn't had a good rain in a while, so we definitely needed the rain. Just not all at once. Look at that pond, is just so brown now. That's not good for the wildlife that lives in the pond, the small macro and micro vertebrae. They don't do well with all the sediment, so hopefully it clears itself out soon. It is pretty out there though, even with the brown color. What are you doing?
Playing in the water.
Playing in the water.
Playing in the water.
Why don't you go back in the barn and finish your project? I better go back to the barn myself and finish taking care of the goats. I just wanted to get some shots of all that water stuff. Mother Nature, it can be quite the aggressive beast. These goats are seriously happy to be out today. After 2 days of being stuck in the barn because of wet and flooding conditions, they are thrilled to be out in the sunshine. And so am I, quite frankly. I was getting a little bit of cabin fever. Thank you for watching. You know the drill. We'll see you next time on Wholesome Roots.